Hey guys, I'm back, and it is my pleasure to tell you that they still haven't called. But let me stop. But seriously, no, I have not reached out to my mom or my grandfather, and that's okay. Nobody has reached out to me either. And again, whatever, it's fine. But I will tell you about some of the things that I've learned so far, um, some things that I have been studying, I guess, to try to figure out the whole gray aspect of my mom that I saw. And that's what I plan to tell you today. So, what I found is this: whenever we inhabit a body, the first thing that happens is, well, first off, when your memories are wiped, you no longer really have the aspect of yourself, of who you were when you first came to Earth or your previous life, so to speak. Also, what's actually removed is your ability to even remember that you have power to begin with. Okay. Therefore, you look gray. There is no light being generated, or anything of that matter. So therefore, there's no light, there's no color, there's no nothing even to remotely look like a face with two eyes, a nose, a mouth, teeth, so on and so forth. Okay, so when you come out of the body after a transition, or for whatever reason you may just decide to just come out, who knows? But when they wipe your memories, and when I say they, I'm talking about the bureaucracy, we'll call them that. They are essentially over this matrix, this electronic grid that is surrounding Earth even at this time. They are pretty much the ones that wants us to continue to keep coming back here and keep living lives over and over to drain whatever energy that we might actually have. Now, again, this isn't an issue when it comes to you finding yourself. Once you become enlightened, then the game changes quite a bit. Okay. It's not like they can force you to do anything. Okay. So you literally have to agree to it. Hence, when you come out of the body, when you transition and you come out of the body, they literally have to, they're going to shine this little light or whatnot that may even draw you towards the light. They'll, bring you through the whole life review. And those of us with belief systems in place, then some of us will see angels, some of us will see Jesus and God and the whole nine yards. So the pretty big spectacle that'll be shown. Okay, if you once believed and then no longer believe, and then you feel like you're some sort of a heathen, then it's possible that you may get into the hell. You might produce what we would consider a hell, but even that would be of your own construct. You feel me? And as a matter of fact, it's almost like a lucid dream, except you're out of the body and you've produced a localized hell for yourself. Okay. Now, anyway, that's not technically what this is about, but it all ties together. A person that does not believe in anything has a bit more leeway when it comes to everything. All right. So you leave your body, they try to draw you in with this light. And in some cases, it feels magnetic to draw you in. And in a lot of cases, you'll feel the overwhelming sense of love, and or at least a frequency, an energetic frequency of love. Now, keep in mind, all emotions have an energetic signature, all right, or a frequency. So literally somebody could point a frequency gun at you, and Depending on the how fast those wavelengths are moving, literally it'll make you feel a certain type of way. That's including with sadness, depression, anxiousness, happiness, sadness, the whole not excited, joy, even joy. All of that can be emitted artificially. And I'm saying artificially because there are mechanisms in place beyond the veil to make you feel a certain kind of way. All right. Now, in my case of my mom, because her aspect was gray, no facial features, then essentially it means that she is not enlightened. She doesn't really know who she is, at least not at the moment. Okay. She's not producing or generating the energy that she could be producing if she found out who she is. Now, there are different things that are said that we are. We got the souls, we have is bees, we have immortal beings, there's different things, energetic, subtle bodies, all of these different sayings, spirit, all of that. But they're all kind of saying the same thing to some degree. They all have a different story behind them, but they are all saying you are an energetic being. You produce energy. I'm a source seed. That's another, some of us are source seeds and all of that jazz. But the point is, we produce energy. We are drawn to certain energetic frequencies, and one of which is unconditional love, or what the feeling of unconditional love. Most of us probably don't realize what unconditional love actually feels like, the real unconditional love. It's not going to be this overwhelming sense of, oh my God, oh, that kind of thing, because an over emotion produces loosh. So let's just be real. It produces an excess of energy that typically a person that really knows what the deal is, they're going to be relatively even keel. Not saying that you're just emotionless, I'm not saying that, okay, but a person like that would be able to control the amount of energy, the energy output, which means, at least to a large degree, they have control over how they express emotion. My mom, in this case, well, she emoted fear. As a matter of fact, I could feel the fear off of her when I was standing there. Now, the reason she backed up and cowered is because, again, the resonance factor. My energy frequency was too high, and with her, as compared to hers, I should say. I don't want to say too high, but it was a mismatch in energy. It's an unconscious form of them that is seen on the other side, because they don't even realize they have an energy body, at least in the way that it truly is. So most of the time they're unconscious. They don't realize what's going on. My mom didn't realize she was cowering in fear and scared to death. She didn't know, at least her ego slash her in the waking life, the you that's awake right now, didn't know. Her consciousness, her awareness is somewhere else. Okay. Keep this also in mind. Where awareness goes, energy flows. All of her energy was pushed towards something else, towards, well, religion, what she believes in, and ultimately the world that she's creating around herself is that of some sort of religion. And in this case, it'll be Christianity or some form of it. Okay. That's what happens. So all of her energy and her consciousness and awareness is diverted in a different direction. And unfortunately, when that happens, if all of your awareness is, if you're looking at something else, you're not looking on in the other direction. And sometimes you're not looking at all. Some people are afraid to look in that other direction to see the real truth of it all. And unfortunately, it kind of puts them in a situation where they're going to have to find out who they are possibly in another lifetime. So, but that aspect, gray face, The fact that she cowered, but it looked like a spider. I've been reading about stuff like that in some esoteric literature. It's more so that a spider form, it's means there's an entanglement of some sort. There's something that there's an attachment, but an entanglement in which the person is no longer able to really fend for themselves. They're in a defensive posture. They are just stuck in some sort of a loop that somebody's going to eventually have to wake that individual soul up. Now, when you come out of the body, and even then, a lot of people don't even realize that they're dead at the time, because it seems like they're still alive. The astral plane it's relatively immense. It's pretty big. It's quite large, and it looks real. It just, now I'm saying it looks real as if it's not real. It is real. But it's a whole new world in a different dimensional space. In a dimensional space where a lot of the entities are vibrating on a higher, even if not quite as in a higher level. I'll just say that much. All right. They are they're vibrating in a higher level, on a higher level, however you say it. So the thing we have to keep in mind is, in order to raise your vibration, get come to terms with who you are. Once you are enlightened, then the work starts for you to start to heal the layers of yourselves, healing yourselves from whatever the issues that may come up, because your subconscious mind does not forget anything. Some things I thought I just knew, I was so over it, and then I'll either get a dream, a lucid dream, or something might come up, and I'm just like, God damn it, I thought I was over this, but apparently not. So it'll bring things up such that so that it won't bring your vibrations down. I recently had an out of body experience where it was in the lower astral plane. And I'm like, why am I going to the lower astral plane when I thought my vibration was high enough to not be tethered to this place anymore? And from what I've read, it is and when you have situations or issues within yourself that have not quite been resolved, maybe you're not quite fully healed from a certain aspect of your life, that vibration is still there, because it is layers of them ultimately. And so your entire being is not made whole, if you will. It's Your entire being is not in harmony. That's a better way to put it. Harmonics mean that it's flowing at the same rate. Those energies are flowing at the same rate, and they can easily meld and mesh together to form a harmonic type of energetic field, if you will. But if some of you is harmonic, and then there's a little piece down here that's vibrating at a different point, and you just so happen to go at night, a lot of times your subconscious is working full stop during that time, and you're trying to process things in your sleep when you're in dreamland, that will happen. You'll start to, okay, you come out of the body, you're going to wherever it is that is conducive to whatever you're vibrating at, whatever energetic frequency you're vibrating at. Okay. Now I keep using the term frequency, and I know I've said this before, but to say it again, frequency is how fast a particular energetic wave is moving. So if you could think about a wave has a crest and a trough like this. The crest is the top part, the trough is the bottom part, and we have a point in the middle, like a certain distance. How fast are these crests moving from crest to crest? How fast is it moving? There's a certain amount of time it takes for one crest to pass to the next crest. The faster it moves, the greater the energetic, the greater the energy, the higher the amount of energy you have. All right. And the slower it moves, the lower the energy you have. So we have a lot of different things within us because we are generators of energy. Think about the sun. Now, we have a lot more energy even than the sun, uh, relatively speaking. But because we've forgotten how to use a lot of it, we don't even realize it. But, anyways, let's just take the sun, for example. The sun has all different types of energies that are that's passing through it, that's moving, that's emitted from it. We're talking gamma rays, cosmic rays, x-rays, radio, all of these, and they're all moving at different speeds, different frequencies. I heard someone say something about a Hertz frequency, and let me just clarify that, because I don't want anybody to walk around here stupid. This is the thing when it comes to hertz. A hertz is simply a unit of frequency. It's literally, it's a 1/seconds or 1/time unit. Like, how fast is a crest moving in within 1 second through a certain point? That's what a hertz is. It's a unit. So frequency is measured in hertz, kind of like length is measured in meters when you go to, when we talk about the metric system and when we're talking about the English system, like how tall someone is, and you say 6 feet, 5 feet, well, some of us 4 feet, but whatever the case may be, that's a unit. A unit is feet, meters, inches. That hertz is simply a unit. So I don't want y'all walking around here stupid, please. All right. So this is the teacher in me coming out. Now, understand that a frequency has units of hertz. All right. So I, don't walk around and talking about hertz frequencies, please. Don't. Okay. I'm gonna leave that on the table. But anywho, the sun has a lot of those different energies, energetic pieces of even in certain cases we were talking plasma, we're talking electrons, just straight up photons. All of these are moving at different speeds. So if you could imagine, if we have the ability, at least in many cases, to produce stars, then we ourselves have the ability to emit the same amounts, or if not more, of energy. Okay. But if you have a little small piece of yourself that's operating either in fear or operating in something other than unconditional love, or something that is just, something that you need to just tweak, something that you need to hear, well, you can definitely go back into a lower astral plane. So apparently that's what I've been having to deal with, y'all, because I've been going back to the lower astral plane for the last couple of times I've come out. And so I'm having to deal with a few things. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to go into specifics just with this particular video because I'm running a little longer than I was intended to. But I promise, guys, this next, I do have some more videos that are coming out, and I'm going to explain some things that have happened in these out of body experiences, as with typical. I'm gonna do my best to give you the raw footage. It just is what it is. Believe it or not, this is my journey. Okay, so, and I'm sharing it with you. Then you can take it as you see fit or not at all. But with that being said, guys, we're good. Me and my mom, my grandfather, there are just some things that they're going to have to work out, especially when it comes to my mom. I'm there to shine a light and do what I can to kind of help coax her into the right direction, but it can only happen when she is ready for it to happen. So hopefully that gray aspect starts to gain a little bit more energy so that she can grow a face at least. Can I see eyes? You feel me? So anyways, until next time, guys, take care.